Hey, what's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, The Education 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please check my channel, continue to subscribe for more YouTube videos. So I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in a very long time. I'll be doing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. Wow, I haven't done that in several months. This is going to be my first one in a while. This is my Cyber Dragon deck profile. I started using Cyber Dragons not too long ago. I did play this deck at the recent Niagara YCS. It was my very first YCS, so very happy to have gotten to play in that. And I'm going to show you some of the cards I run. I've changed it up since then, but here's some of the cards I basically run. I'm going to show you guys right now. First, start with the monster build, and this is about the very self-explanatory 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Core. Very important component of the deck. Lets you search out cyber spell or traps. Treated as Cyber Dragon on field and grave. So very important to search out your main cyber spell and trap cards. And also has a graveyard effect where you can just banish it and summon out a Cyber Dragon monster of any one from your deck, pretty much for free. So it's really, really important to have this card in your deck. Next up, I play 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Hers. This is another key ingredient. Recently came out in Cybernetic Horizon. This card first has a special summon effect where you can make it level 5, but the key component is its second effect. You can pitch this card from deck to grave. You can discard it with Twin Twister. It's basically like a Burning Abyss type of card. When it's sent to grave, you search out any regular Cyber Dragon from your deck, or if you have any of the monster Cyber Dragons that are treated as them in the graveyard, you can add them from your grave to your hand. So very good at recycling key cards. Very important. Next, of course, 3 copies of, as I mentioned, the regular Cyber Dragon. Very self-explanatory. Summon it from your hand if your opponent has monsters and you don't. And you can just start off a million plays with this. It's really important. Then I run 3 copies of card, even though it's not Cyber Dragon, it's so important. 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Basically, you can discard a light monster from your hand, summon this card in defense for free, and then you can search out another Galaxy card, so usually it'll be Galaxy Soldier himself, and you can just do like a very easy play. There's an easy 2-card combo. If you drop Hers, you get the Hers effect, and you get the Soldier, and you get to basically search out Galaxy Soldier and Cyber Dragon, so 2 searches, and then you set up Infinity. It's really, really busted. Couple of 1-ofs and 2-ofs. I play 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Dre. Took this card out for a while, but it's very important. You can normal summon this, make all Cyber Dragons level 5, and if you banish this card, you protect your Cyber Dragons from being destroyed. So it's very, very important that we have this card in the deck. It's really, really valuable. Then I play 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Veer. Veer is a really cool little extender card. Once you summon or normal or special a Cyber Dragon, you can basically summon Veer absolutely free in defense, and you can power up all Cyber Dragons by 500 attack and defense. Really good card. You only need to run it about 1 or 2. That's all you need of this, and it's just very handy to extend plays and maybe to make Seeger and stuff. Then I run 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. Because why not? You can search this card with Cyber Repair Plant. You can just pitch this card to the grave with Rampage Dragon, and you have it in grave. Your opponent then can't do a battle phase on the next turn. So basically, you end their battle phase. It's really, really busted, really good. Then I play 2 copies of Inspector Border, and those of you who don't know, Inspector Border is a walking Majesty's Fiend. Prevents monster effects from activating. Unless your opponent gets extra deck monsters on the field, Link Pendulum, Xyz, Synchro, Fusion, you name it. Again, searchable off Cyber Repair Plant, and really good to have this on turn 1. You pretty much just stop your opponent from doing main effects. This is a perfect card to freeze Altergeist, and just prevents them from really going off. It can stop BA, it could stop pretty much any of the current meta decks we have in the game right now. Really, really handy, and it's good to have. Usually you'd side it, but I like to main it too. Then I run a mini artifact engine. Yes, that's right. I play artifacts. Why not? Because they're all level 5. 2 copies of Artifact Scythe. Just summon it on your opponent's turn. Your opponent can't summon from the extra deck. And I run 1 of Moral Tech. Pops a face-up card as soon as it's summoned. I mean, just absolutely busted to have a card like this. So, of course, I play Artifact Sanctum to set all that up. Now we're going to move on to the spells and traps. We'll start with the spells first. Very self-explanatory spells that I run. First, 3 copies of the key startup card, Machine Duplication. Very, very handy that we have this card in the deck. I play Cyber Dragon Core, play 3 of hers. All of them have 500 attack or below. And then you just get to summon 2 Cyber Dragons. In this case, since they are treated as Cyber Dragon, you can sum out the 2 regular Cyber Dragons with 2100 attack. And then you can just make some insane plays. It's really good. And we have another Cyber Dragon coming in the Jump promo called Noxter. That's going to be another weapon for duplication, so very, very key that we play that. Next up, I play 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. A handy card to search out any machine that cannot be normal, summoned, or set. That's a light machine, so this is a free search for Eltanin. But the main key to using the card is to search out a Cyber Dragon monster of any kind. And if this card were to get negated, all you have to do is drop a card, and you can just activate the card again and get this back from grave. So, Cyber Emergency, this is the one card your opponent shouldn't think about negating, unless you use Ash Blossom. That's the only way you stop this card. Or if you happen to draw and lock before this card even resolves, but that's about it. Next, I run 2 copies of Cyber Repair Plant. Repair Plant, such an important piece to have. As long as you get a Cyber Dragon grave, you search out a light machine. Or you can recycle from your grave if you have 3 Cyber Dragons. So, Repair Plant, it's good at 2. 3 is a little bricky. But this card, as I said, can search out Inspector Board. You can search Galaxy Soldier out with this. You can search out pretty much anything that's a light machine that can get you out of tough spots. Very, very important. I run then 1 Cyber Rev System. This is the Monster Reborn for the deck. You summon a Cyber Dragon from your hand or grave, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So really, really, really handy card. It's just so good to have this at 1. You don't need to have more than this. That's fine. Then I run 1 Monster Reborn, self-explanatory. A couple fusion cards, Power Bond. Now that we have the other Cyber card I'm going to show you, Cyberload Fusion. Now that we have Cyberload Fusion, you don't need Overload Fusion anymore, and this is just to get Rampage out. Either of these, I mean, Power Bond will double Rampage, and pretty much you can push for game with this. Cyberload, you can pretty much take any Cyber Dragons that are, you can take cards that are banished or on the field, and you could just fuse with them, and you could push for game with this. It's really, really strong. Now on to the trap cards. I run quite a few of them in here. First off, 2 copies of Cybernetic Overflow. Very, very cool card. I would run this. I might run this at 1. I like it at 2. Again, you could search it with Core. And the great thing is, if this card gets popped, you can just search a Cyber Spell or Trap, and you can also chain it at the same time if your opponent tries to destroy it. All you have to do with this is banish Cyber Dragons with different levels from your hand, field, or graveyard. So if you have regular Cyber Dragon in your hand, that works. If you have Core, Hers, Dre, Veer, etc. in your grave, I mean, that's it. You basically can get like maybe 3-4 pops with this 1 card. So you can just pop pretty much anything and destroy as many as possible. So this card is such a sleeper card, but really a good card to have to get you out of a jam. Then I run a couple hand traps, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Self-explanatory, you can activate this from your hand if you have no cards, or you could play it face down and then stop a card in this column from activating. So Impermanence is just a more improved version of Fiendish Chain. It's just so good what this card does. Then I play a couple of 2 copies of Evenly Matched. Again, you know, I just sometimes, if my opponent has a big board, I can just skip my battle phase on purpose, go to my main phase, play Evenly Matched, and just even things out. It's really just, it's broken what this card does. Broken, you can activate this from hand. And finally, I showed you the Artifact Engine, 2 copies of Artifact Sanctum, and again, when this card's popped, you can pop a card. And then if you activate this card, you summon a free artifact directly from your deck. So you could bang out a Moraltech, you can bang out a Scythe, you can bang out a Lancia. Just such a good little piece to have. Usually you'd want to play this on your opponent's turn because then you can't do a battle phase. So do it on your opponent's turn, maybe at end phase perhaps, or right before they set up an extra deck play, and you freeze them dead in their tracks. So that's the main deck, and now we move on to the extra deck. First off, I run 3, 2, and 1 of the Contact Fusion monsters. I run 2 of Mega Fleet. Of course, Mega Fleet is a very popular card to play in the meta today with you just take a Cyber Dragon and a monster in the extra monster zone, and you can fuse from either side of the field. That's what makes this great. So if you're playing a mirror match, if your opponent has a Cyber Dragon and they have an extra deck monster, you can just fuse their own monsters and summon this on your field. And then it gains 1,200 per material. So this card's just insane. You can break extra link boards with this card with Goki. Really, it's become the new staple now in the game right now. Mega Fleet to get you out of some tough spots. Then I run 1 copy of Fortress. Pretty much you only need 1. I was running this at 2 for a while, but unless you're playing ABCs or a mirror match, Fortress you won't really see in too many spots, unless maybe if you wanted to kaiju a monster, which is Yugioh, you can just make a free Fortress that way. But yeah, it's a very good card. I run 2 copies of Nova and 1 of Infinity. Nova just gets you a free Cyber Dragon from the grave by detaching, and you could double its points. Infinity you only need 1 of. You're not going to see this card too many times, so very good to have that there. I run 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Seeger, the new Link monster. Really good what this does. Can pump up its own points, or you can pump up any 2100 or more machine on the battle phase of either turn, and it just can win you so many games. I run 1 copy of Rampage Dragon. This is your win condition card. You play with Power Bond, etc. You just pitch 2 light machines, and this thing can attack 2 times in addition to its regular attack. So you can basically attack with this thing 3 times. And you can pop Spell or Traps when it's summoned. Pretty damn good. Cleafort Genius, very important staple. It's there for protection, immune to spell and traps, and just an extender for Cyber Dragon and all machines. Summon Sorceress, I use this for a specific combo play that goes along with Nightmare Griffin. Griffin just sets up the basically a lockdown board, and then you have Infinity on the left. It's just insane. And then a couple of Xyzes I run, Volcasaurus and Pleiades. Both take level 5 monsters. Pleiades can just bounce cards, and Volcasaurus can just pop a card and deal damage. You can push for game with Volcasaurus. It's really good. Then, win condition, 2 fusions. Cyber Twin Dragon can push for games, can attack twice in a turn. And then Cyber Eternity, a really sleeper card. Play it with Cyber Load. It can be a great wall. It can be an attacker. And it protects fusion monsters from card effects. It's really just sick what this card does. Finally, quickly through my extra deck. 2 copies Pankratops. Self-explanatory, just tribute it and pop cards. Call by the Grave. Stop cards in the graveyard. Filthy, so gotta have 2 of it because of the ban list. Couple copies of Red Reboot for Altergeist and for Paleozoic matchups. Can just freeze traps. Solemn Judgment because it's Solemn Judgment. Why not? 2 copies Ash Blossom. Stop searching. Twin Twister. Blow up back row. 2 copies of Drolin Lockbird to stop searching. And of course, I mentioned him before. I run 1 of Eltanin on the side. Again, you could just blow up the board by sending cards to grave, and all you have to do is just banish light machines. And again, searchable off of emergency, so this card can do so many little plays. And when we get trained soon, this card will be busted in rank 10 decks down the road from here. So guys, that's my deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please continue to subscribe and ask for more videos. We'll see you next time.